welcome back to the vlog. Today we are going to kick things off with some seed starting, finally. I know I started a few seeds the other week, but this is the real deal. We are ready to go. I have finished my spreadsheet, I have assigned all of my start dates, so I am totally organized and I can start to like plant things in batches. Today I'm going to be starting some flower seeds: Lisianthus, false indigo, lavender, columbine, yarrow, and snapdragon. Never planted any of them from seed, so I have no clue what I'm doing. I have read that false indigo can be a little bit tricky to start from seed, but I saved some seeds from my last house, so I figured I would give it a go. If it doesn't work, that's okay. But now's as good a time as any to try, right? So I have pre-moistened my seed starting mix, which I totally forgot to do the last time I planted seeds, but you know, we've learned and we're applying the knowledge. So it's not soaked, like I can't squeeze it and wring out water. It's just damp enough to kind of like hold its shape when I like pack it into a ball. And even then it's still a little bit crumbly. So just wet enough that it will accept water when I water it instead of repelling it because it's so dry. So I'm going to take the pre-moistened soil mix and I'm going to put that into my cell packs over here. I think I'm going to do 2 or 3 depending on how many seeds I end up putting in each. So I'm going to fill those up to the top and then I will get out my seeds and start creating labels and popping those in. In my spreadsheet I've labeled like how deep to plant the seeds, how many seeds to put in each cell roughly, so I'm going to try to go by that as much as I can, but as with everything, this is kind of trial and error, so I'm gonna give it a go, see if it works, and if it doesn't, we will pivot later. I am continuing with the black and gold natural and organic seedling mix. This is what I used to start the other seeds the other day, so I'm just going to keep with this since it's open and use it up. But so far so good. I mean, everything except for the chives have germinated, so I'll take that as a win, and hopefully that will work for the rest of the seeds too. Alright, so I've got all of the flowers planted for today. I did add one variety of viola because I had a little room left, so I stuck those seeds in a little bit early. We will see if everything comes up. Hopefully the majority do. The seeds, some of the seeds are so tiny. It's just insane. Like sometimes I can't even see them, so I'm just like, hopefully it made it into the tray. I'm sure people who have like done this before are laughing because they've dealt with it, but I'm still trying to come up with like a good system. I've been using like my long fingernails to kind of like pick up one seed at a time where I can. Sometimes it's a couple of seeds. I'm sure there are like tweezers or something, but I don't know. I guess now we just cross our fingers and hope most of them pop up. And if not, we'll either not have them or we will try again with some more seeds. I just gave them all a good spritz before I put the dome lids on, and then I lowered the lights actually on everything so they were as close as they could get to the lids, just so that as the plants germinate and start to grow, they don't get super leggy. If they have to reach for the light, like if the lights are too high, they get a bit leggy and weak. So in an effort to prevent that, I've lowered the lights. All the heat mats are on for the 3 trees that are currently growing, so it'll create a nice, warm, cozy, moist environment for them. And I'll keep you posted. I am upstairs now, probably covered in dirt. Junie and Piper are enjoying their new toys we gave them. Super quick, but I just washed my hands, and if you do not have a little nail scrub brush and you are a gardener or, I don't know, a mechanic, anything where you're getting stuff stuck in your nails and your nail beds, I highly recommend these little nail brushes. I like to get the little bamboo or wooden ones with the boar bristles. They're not like too rough on your hands. They've got 2 different sides. One's a little firmer and then one's like got a bigger surface area. I will drop the link below. Not only do they look cute on your sink, but they come in super handy so you can keep your nails or your manicure super clean. I am taking a quick lunch break to enjoy some sunshine outside and work on some garden plans. I grabbed flags from the barn and I am going to work on staking out where I want to plant the perennial garden around the outside of the kitchen garden. I've also started to think about the patio space that we want to build and how that's all going to come together. We've talked about it ourselves, like kind of generally where we want it to be, what we want it to look like, but now we kind of need to start thinking about the logistics, like where's it going to start and stop, when we put a door in on this side of the house, like how is that all going to be integrated. So it's always much easier for me to like be outside in the environment looking at the real thing to get a feel for like, okay, if I come out the door here, I'm gonna step down here, you know, all that kind of stuff. So I just wanted to spend a little time getting a feel for that space as well so that I can go back to my iPad sketch and kind of like work through some of the details. So where you see flags, I mean, it's kind of hard because it's like indicating openings and beds, but these 4 flags would be a little mini bed, and then this would be open, so it would just be like a stepping stone, or the beds would end in between this little gap here. And then these 4 flags would indicate another small bed. This would be a walkway, and then these flags here, so you'd start here, you'd come around the corner to roughly this flag, and then it would stretch all the way along here to these 2 flags. So that would be the biggest connected section of the perennial garden because there's no walkways here. Then this would be a walkway, and then I would have to stick flags like there over to here. And then this would be a walkway. Now, the thing is, I do like this idea, but I don't want to block the beds entirely. Like, in some ways it's kind of nice to be able to access the side of the bed, but it's not going to be like trees and bushes. It'll be varied height. We'll have some low growing flowers mixed in with a few like sort of sporadic tall flowers. Some that are a little more bushy, but not like, you know, growing 3 feet tall. So I gotta think about this a little bit. I'm not sure if it's gonna work the way that I wanted it to. The alternative would be to just plant a little perennial pollinator garden around this corner here, or just in front of this stretch of the long bed and this stretch of the long bed, leaving openings for each of the pathways and leaving this end completely open. So no garden along this edge here. So that would be an alternative. And maybe it wouldn't look so sporadic that way. I might have to do a little mock-up on the computer. Hi! Are you so happy in the sunshine? Yes, you are. Good girl. Flipping over to this side of the house. So this window right here is what we would like to turn into a door. And then this is our 3-season porch. And this kind of area here in the little corner is where we'd like to do a patio. You can see that it needs to be sort of dug out a little bit because there's kind of a slope here. You can see this concrete pad goes down about, I don't know, 12 to 18 inches. And, you know, that would be level all the way down to this edge here. So we'd kind of need to match that with a mini retaining wall that sort of like slopes out into the lawn. So yeah, just kind of thinking about how the steps from the door would integrate into this area. I want this whole yard space that we fenced in to feel more cohesive, a little more landscaped, you know, hide some of the ugly stuff like the well, which you can't really see in the shadow there, and the air conditioning unit. It's just clunky, so we're trying to tidy this up a bit and create more usable nooks. Just picture like a little stone patio with a bunch of plants, a door with a little awning, a couple steps down, and then a lovely little perennial garden somewhere over here, TBD, but a couple of like perennials mixed in along the edge here. What do you think, Pipey? You think that's good? Is that good? Yeah. It is Wednesday, it's cloudy and it's been rainy, and it's just one of those days you want to curl up and go back to bed or watch a movie. I've been fighting off some kind of a cold or something, so I didn't really do too much yesterday evening. I just went to bed early. I'm going to make some tea, and I thought it might be fun to show you just kind of what I've been brainstorming for the outdoor space. So I will kind of walk through my little sketch. Nothing is set in stone. I have one little tiny sprout of yarrow. I went down there this morning, so I was like, I'll check on them, but probably nothing has sprouted yet. And sure enough, we had a tiny little green speck in there. So I will try to do weekly updates on that because I don't want to like bore you with daily updates on like tiny progress. Even though I'm excited about it, it's not fun to watch. It's more fun to check back once a week and be like, wow, they've grown so much. The roots on my propagated plants are looking really strong. I'm going to let them keep growing for a bit just so that I have a good root base before I stick them in a pot. But things are moving along smoothly, which is good. I'm going to make some tea. I'm just making some English breakfast, decaffeinated. I'll add some honey and lemon, and we'll jump over to the iPad. This is my very basic sketch, just trying to think about overall flow of the patio, where we want to put a door, things like that. So right now, this is our 3-season porch. We've got a door on the back side that walks out to the back of the property. We want to put the patio kind of on the opposite side in this little corner here. The downside is it's always shaded by the house. We get a little bit of sun peeking through in the afternoon, but for the most part it's shady. I still feel like it's a good area for one. It's nice to have a shaded place to sit outside, but it's also kind of tucked away and not in the space of like the main play area for the dogs. This area here in the corner, this is currently the window in the breakfast nook or the entryway, and we want to turn that into a door. So I would love to build like a little pad and a couple of steps down with an awning. It might be like a multi-phased project, but turning this into a door with a step down into the yard, and then creating a little bit of space between that entry and the patio. We have this concrete pad that runs along the edge of our house. It's about, I would say, 16 or 18 inches wide and about 16 or 18 inches deep. And that's not going anywhere. So we kind of have to work around that. The ground also slopes kind of from this corner down. So when we, level this area out to create a patio space, we're gonna have to build this little retaining wall kind of here. And it'll just kind of slope down into the yard and eventually be level. So because of that, we would need a step down so that you don't just trip over it. And I was thinking of putting it in the middle just so you have like space to walk outside, you've got a little bit of grass, and then you step down into the patio. We were thinking someday we'd love to change one of the windows on this side into a door, so you also have access from the sunroom onto the patio that way. It may be overkill, we haven't decided yet. It would be a relatively easy thing to do, but I'm just kind of thinking about if we did do that, where would we put the steps so that, they're not like in the way. And I was thinking closer to this edge might be nice. And then I'll also show a picture of kind of my inspiration for the stones in the patio, but I really love just like an organic kind of like stone patio look with, grass growing between. I want it to feel like it's been here a while. It's not something that was just like brand new, modern. I want it to feel appropriate for the house, but also like, it's just something that's been lived in and nature has started to grow around it. So that would be my ideal scenario. And I would like to wrap it around the side of the house so you have a little pathway along the edge of the 3-season porch, and then it kind of integrates back into the step on the other side of the porch. We had talked about in the future, like, putting a patio space over on the other side where it's more sunny, but I like that this is tucked away. It feels like an appropriate spot for it despite not being super sunny. We get plenty of warm days here anyway, so it will be warm, albeit shady. And we could always expand this in the future if we wanted a little sunny spot on the other side of the house. But that's kind of generally my thinking. Like the kitchen garden's kind of over in this area here, so it's a nice play between like a seating area and the garden area. Having the door right here would give us like access or easier access to that garden space. And like our kitchen is right here, so being able to just pop outside, grab some fruits and veggies, cook right here, and then go outside and sit on the patio is a nice flow. So that's the plan for now. It will likely change. It always does. I will probably come up with 3 or 4 different places for the patio before I actually land on one. This is just one that I've been thinking about for a while, so I needed to start sketching it out to like visualize it. But as the weather gets nicer and we're spending more time outside, we may decide that a sunnier spot makes more sense for us and we can use this corner for something else. I will keep you posted as things change, as we start to make some decisions. But for now, it's fun to just dream and think about what it could be. Before I start dinner, I was thinking of maybe working on sewing some cafe curtains. We have interior shutters on a couple of our windows, and I love the look of them, but they block the light when they're closed. And I don't love that because I want all the natural light I can get. So I bought some brass curtain rods like 6 months ago now, oh my goodness, so long ago, as well as a couple of different fabrics I could use for curtains. And I did sew them and put the curtain rod up in the laundry room, but I haven't gotten to the bathrooms yet. So I was thinking maybe I can sew up a few curtains so I can hang one of those curtain rods, or maybe both, this weekend. I'm no master sewer by any means, but I know my way around a basic sewing machine and some straight lines. So, you know, can't go wrong with curtains. So I will not be giving you any tips and tricks unless I come across one that's brilliant, but I will show you the fabric I picked out and throw you on a time lapse while I make a couple rectangles. This is the fabric I purchased. I looked at the receipt back in October, so October, November, December, 5 months ago? Almost 6, I was close. This is like a linen-y sort of texture. It's an ivory base color, and then it has like this beige wheat type pattern. I don't know if you can see that. So it's super subtle, but I was thinking this one might be nice in the upstairs bathroom, which is that floral wallpaper. It's just like a soft pattern, so it doesn't take away from the lovely wallpaper. I don't think I have enough to make curtains for the downstairs bathroom. I think I need to pick up a third fabric, but when I was there in October, there were only 2 that were speaking to me. So I was like, I'll start with these and then I'll come back another time for a different fabric. I'm just gonna measure the other curtains. I'll take you over there and show you what those look like, because I don't remember the measurements, and I'm just gonna do something similar. And then I'll cut the fabric and start pinning it up. All right, I know I'm like a shadow, but we are in the laundry room. These are the curtains I put up in here. It just gives us like a little bit of privacy, but it lets more light through, which I much prefer because this side of the house gets the morning sun, so the more I can let into the kitchen, the brighter the space is. So these are the brass rods. They just have these cute little decorative finials on the ends, and then this skinny little rod screws into them. And then I just did a pocket to slip these on the rod. I did get brass cafe curtain clips. They're like smaller clips, but I just didn't like them as much. It made the curtain start like here, so there was this weird gap, and I actually didn't mind it with the curtain just slipped over the rod like this. So I still have them in case I want to switch it up in the future, but for now I'm kind of liking this. So I'm just gonna measure it so I can get a similar starting point, and then we'll go from there. It just took me way too long to figure out how to cut 2 squares of fabric out. I don't have like a quilter square or anything, so I kind of had to figure out how to get them roughly square as best I could. They're not perfect, but I think for what we're doing, that's okay. I just used the tape measure, and then I marked with a marker, and then I used the ruler to connect the marks, and then I used scissors to cut out. I do have one of these, but the blade is so dull. Every time I get it out, I'm like, oh shoot, I meant to order new blades. So I'm gonna keep it out so I remember to get new blades, but I think these are good for now. I did iron them because they were super wrinkly, which probably didn't help when cutting them out. But I'm going to break for dinner, and then I will start to pin up the edges. Well, actually it would be like this. I am making salmon bowls for dinner, and I just harvested the cilantro from our indoor garden. That was the one that was growing that I can never remember. It's cilantro. We thought it was parsley, and we cut it and put it in a dish we had yesterday. No, 2 days ago. I can't remember what we were making, but we put it in, and I was like, oh, that's cilantro, that's not parsley. So now we know. So yeah, I'm gonna make salmon bowls with like a cucumber slaw on top of them. I've actually never cooked salmon before. We've had this many times, but Matt always does the salmon, so this is my first time cooking fish. We will see how it goes. Curtain. It took me a little longer because I just was trying to figure out all the measurements, but I did get one done. So the top, it has like a wider pocket, and then I just have like 3/4 inch seams around the edges, just to tuck in all the raw, like the fraying edges. So I brought it upstairs into the bathroom so we can just kind of like hold it in place and see how it looks. So these are the shutters I was talking about. Like, they are absolutely adorable, but they just block out all the light, and sometimes I want privacy, but I want a little bit of like light filtered through. So having something like this will give us that. So this is it next to the wallpaper, which I kind of love, like the pattern on pattern, but that's why I went with like a more subtle pattern for the fabric, because I didn't want it to like take away from the wallpaper. I just wanted them to kind of work together. And this wallpaper has this sort of like shadowed pattern of flowers in the background, which isn't exactly this, but it's kind of that same or a similar motif. So that's why I felt like this would look nice. We'll have the brass curtain rod going right along the center here, and then I'll slip the pocket over the rod to see what that looks like. I can also try it with clips, but I think that is going to be really cute. I will work on the other one sometime tomorrow. Now that I have a system down and I wrote down my measurements, it should be a little bit easier to pull together. But hopefully by the end of the weekend, we'll have a set of curtains and we can take these shutters down and probably sell them. I wish I could find something else to use them for, but I want light, man. I want light. So I'm gonna get ready for bed and then get some sleep. We've been going to bed earlier just because we've been feeling a little bit under the weather, but in Canada we were so tired from the spa that we kind of like shifted our sleep schedule, and I've been sticking with it, and I'm trying to continue to stick with it because I really like getting up early and getting things done before the day starts. I don't know what it is, but something clicked, and so far this week I've been sticking with it. So hopefully it stays with me forever. It is just about to get dark out. The sunset is so cool right now. It's like the perfect cotton candy sky. And goodness, it is so nice that it is light out. Like, it's just such a world of difference when the day is over and it's still a little bit light out. It's not pitch black. I have emptied out the extra cups in my Click and Grow garden that were growing nothing. So if you remember a few weeks back, I tried popping in the pods that I had found in the barn, and I've had them for about a year. They didn't end up sprouting. So I emptied the cups out, and I'm going to go put my own seed starting mix and seeds in there. I'm gonna pick 2 different seeds to try. I have 4 cups. So I have to go look through my binder and see what might grow relatively quickly, so that we can kind of make use of it while it's still winter. But yeah, I'm gonna go pop those in and see if we can grow something. Is continuing to thrive. I only harvested the outer leaves, so all these inner new leaves are continuing to grow, and same with the cilantro. Yesterday I clipped all the outer leaves, and the inner baby leaves are going to keep on growing, so I'm going to leave those in. And I just popped in our new seeds. So we did purple basil in 2 of them, and we did arugula in the other 2. I actually put in probably like 6 to 8 seeds in each of these. I wasn't sure how many would sprout, if they'd sprout at all, if this was like a preferred environment. So this is a total test. We'll see if anything pops up, and if we have to thin them as they start to germinate, we can do that. But fingers crossed, this setup is a good home for them to grow in, and I will keep you posted. And just like that, it is completely dark out. I was outside, or downstairs, not outside, for like 15-20 minutes, and I came up to darkness. Oh, I can't wait for the time change. I also finished my second curtain, so those are ready to go. I'm hoping maybe I can put the curtain rod up tomorrow or Saturday, so I'll be able to squeeze that into this vlog. And another random off-topic thing, I got a new pair of slippers, and I'm obsessed with them. I've had a pair of slippers for a while now that they're kind of like fake Uggs. They're like ankle boots. I like slippers that go up to my ankles because I'm always freezing cold. Like, I want every inch of me covered. I always say I have thin skin, but like obviously that's not a thing. I don't know. I don't have good circulation. I'm not sure. But either way, I like to be fully secured in the foot department so that I'm toasty warm all day long. And I picked these up. We have an LL Bean outlet near us, so I ran over there for emergency slippers the other evening, and I picked these up. They have a nice like rubber sole on the bottom, so it's more of like a shoe, and they're fantastic. I mean, I don't know how you can go wrong with a slipper, but these are extra cozy. They just feel like thick socks with a shoe bottom, and so far so good. If these get me another 6 months to a year, I'd say that's pretty good considering how frequently I wear them. And these will be worn in the summer. You'll catch me wearing these in the summer. Good morning. Happy March. We are in the bathroom. It is 8 a.m. and I am going to attempt to get this curtain and curtain rod up in an hour before I sit down to start work. So I've got my drill, my tape measure, levels, drill bits, pipe cutter for the curtain rod, and I think that's it. I've got to go grab the curtain rod and the screws, and then we'll get these shutters off. there we go. I know it's a little hard to see because I'm shooting directly into a bright window, but that went a little bit smoother than the last time since I kind of knew what I was doing. I'm really happy with how they look, and I just need to hem the bottom up a little bit more because I only folded over once. I wasn't sure how long I wanted them to be, so it's still a little bit frayed. So I just need to fold it over a 1/2 inch and sew that up, and then we will be good to go. I've just topped off my coffee before I sit down to do some work. I will include a link to the brass curtain rod in the description below. I ordered it from a company called Pepe and Carol's. They're located in Maine. Everything they make is handcrafted in Maine, so love to support a local company. They also have a great selection of other like home decor and lighting items, so if you're interested in something like that, definitely check them out. Okay, so I've just made lunch and my head has been spiraling for the past few hours with ideas, all good stuff. So we just installed the curtains. I put the curtains right on the curtain rod with no curtain clips, but I have curtain clips, and I think I mentioned that I didn't use them downstairs, but since I had them, I was like, but like, what do they look like? Because I love the look of curtain clips. So here we are. Clips are installed. They're super cute. It's much easier to open and close. But as you can see, there's a little gap here. So you can still see like a little bit of the lower window, which is why I did not use them downstairs, because when I hung my rod, I wanted it aligned with the top here. And I didn't want a gap with the curtain. So I just decided to slip the curtain rod right through the curtain, and that way the curtain hung a little bit higher. But I still loved the clips. So I looked up where people hang curtain rods because it's all over the place. Like there's no right or wrong, it's all dependent on style and what you're using and blah blah blah. But what I could do, and what a lot of people do, is they actually hang the curtain rod a little bit higher, so it kind of comes maybe 2 inches above the latch here. And then they use the curtain clips, so the curtain actually starts here with the curtain clip above it. And that way it still covers the window. The one thing I don't particularly love about that is you've now got like another line cutting through the window, which I just think kind of looks weird. I like that when I look at this, it's perfectly in line with the lower portion of the window. That's just me being a little bit of a perfectionist. It really doesn't matter. I'm going to let the idea marinate for a little bit. So that's where we're at. I really do like these. I just think they're such a pretty little detail. And you see more of the brass curtain rod, so there's just a little bit more of that glimmer in here, which I personally like. So yes, constantly changing, never done. That's my motto, and I'm sticking to it. Oops, I'm at the store. I stopped at Joann Fabrics to see if I could get some fabric to finish up the last curtain, and I found this cute little striped fabric that I think would work well for the downstairs bathroom. I'm looking to see if they have anything else that's similar. I just want a subtle pattern because we haven't painted the room yet, so I want it to work with what's there but also work for like potential future color pattern changes. And I think just a subtle stripe would work really nicely. I'm really holding back not purchasing these adorable plates and napkins. Look how cute those are. Just got back from dinner at one of our favorite spots in Groton, Massachusetts called Forge and Vine. It is right near the Groton Inn. I think it's called the Groton Inn. And it's amazing. It's a rotating seasonal menu and it's always delicious. So if you're local to New England, local to the Groton area, definitely check it out. We are going to eat some Girl Scout cookies that I picked up outside of Joann Fabrics today. It was a nice little surprise, and we have something fun planned before I wrap up the vlog tomorrow, so we will bring you along. Golf is a golf simulator place, and you can basically rent out a booth by the hour and select from a variety of different courses around the world to play as if you were really there. So we did a little bit of a warm-up, and then we played, do you remember what course we played?
It was Paradise in Hawaii.
Paradise? Some course in Hawaii. So that was a lot of fun, but I have not picked up a golf club since we played Winter League, which was before Christmas, right? Oh my goodness. Yeah, so it's been a while since I have swung a club. Matt's gone to a few. Well, actually, he's only played like once. So anyway, we're both out of shape. And my back is feeling it. So I was just saying that I really need to build some strength in my back and work on just some like strength training. So add it to the list of things to do. We are on our way home. I'm gonna check in on the dogs, do a couple small to-dos like change the oil in my car and fix the corner cabinet in the kitchen, which is just getting stuck. So little things like that that we've just not had the time to work on. And then maybe take a nap because we both got up at 5:30 a.m. for some reason. So that's what we're gonna do. Hopefully have a little bit of a relaxing evening. I'm going to wrap the vlog up here. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. Make sure to subscribe for future updates, and I will catch up with you next week with seedling updates, more seed planting, and some updates on the cafe curtains that hopefully I'll be wrapping up sometime tomorrow.